Hi, everybody. Well, long time no see. I actually forgot for a while that I had a YouTube channel, but that's me. Um, but what better day to come back and have a conversation with you? Today is August 26th, and it is a King of Hearts, King of Diamonds day because we are now in the sign of Virgo. And Virgo is governed by Mercury. The day is the King of Hearts, and the Mercury card, the planetary ruler, is the King of Spades. So these two red kings sitting side by side have tremendous power that's governed by the heart and with integrity. And, yesterday I was thinking about, all the crap that's going on in the world and uh, the bad stuff. And, I've always felt like the test here, the opportunity, is for us to take care of one another. And we don't do a good job of that. We take care of the people we're close to, but the people we're different from, we don't always take care of. And I know that's not true for all of us, but it's true for many. And I think it might be a privilege to be in human form. I think, there are many souls that wish they weren't here or don't want to come back. And there are many souls that wish they could be here and want to come back. And then there are all of us that are here and we're fighting, we're judging, we're dismantling humanity one thought at a time. And it's disturbing. It's literally disturbing on every plane and dimension of existence. And I don't know how we change that except each one of us realizing the gift this life is. And that's true for everyone. It's not just true for us, it's true for every single person, whatever their circumstance, whatever their situation. Everyone is playing a role. Everyone is playing a part. And somehow, and I know there are evil forces at play in this world. And they're playing their part. But how do we respond? This is the question. I've thought about making a video for YouTube for the past few weeks, and I haven't felt like I had anything worthwhile to say. So I didn't come on here. I don't do this to make money or, to get likes or followers or whatever. I do this because it's part of my path and my destiny working with the system. And, I don't believe this system needs to be added to in any way, shape, or form. After my son died and I started writing my Cards of Destiny book back in 1998, I had a lot of communication with the Order of the Magi on the astral plane. I mean, I was so devastated. I was barely in this world, so it was very easy for me to be in other worlds at that time. And, they gave me clear instructions that I should write about the cards in a simple way that people would want to read about each other. Make it interesting for people to read about other people. And when I was doing the book, one of my friends came over. I was living in Kauai. And she said, can you print out my card? Have you written it? And I said, yeah, and I printed it out. She goes, oh, I want to see other ones. And it was a confirmation right there that I was doing what they were asking me to do. I've never told anyone this before. And now I'm telling everybody. So, laying it all out there. And, it's always been my intention to be true to the Oracle. I mean, I've had people come to me want me to do reality TV shows based on my relationship book, and, and people wanting me to work with them for gambling and do a website for gambling and all this stuff. And I've just graciously said, no, thank you. That's not my path. My path is to be true to this oracle. This oracle is the matrix of time. And today is a really important day. It's a 26, it's a 2, it's a 6, it's an 8. And we've got these two kings. And these two red kings are all about the heart. They're all about integrity. The 2 is all about communication. The 6 is all about balance and harmony. And the 8 is about empowering ourselves and everyone we come into contact with. Doesn't matter how. It just matters. Our thoughts matter because they become matter. They become real form in the realm of matter. And I'm pretty sure that all of you who are listening to me already know all of this, And maybe somebody needs to be reminded. The people that don't know this need to know this. And we need to remember this because the atmospheric conditions we live in on the planet are chaotic and they're very deceptive. There's so much deception. And that's why these 2 red kings, they shine light on that deception. They enhance the perception we have in our heart, in our mind, to take action from those places of love and compassion and integrity. The Venus card for this King of Hearts is the 6 of Hearts. And it's the Mercury card for the King of Diamonds. This is a card that says we must take responsibility for our heart and for the hearts of others. We must bring things into balance and harmony with love and compassion. And that love and compassion comes from understanding. Understanding the fact that, we're all here by the grace of the Creator, by the grace of creation. You know, I think we probably come, and this is a big one, but I saw this in meditation decades ago. You know, it's like we come from the other side of creation. We come through into creation to experience, to create, to be. And in the realm of humanity, I do believe that we're here to take care of one another, to respect life, whatever is given life. When my children were little, I taught them to respect plants, bugs, everything. Don't kill them. Don't hit the plant with a stick. It can feel, it hurts. It shaped who they became as adults and who they were as children. Every living thing on this planet deserves respect. Every living being on this planet deserves respect. And that respect starts with us. Self-respect, appreciation for the life we've been given. It's a gift. It's a gift. You know what made me think of this yesterday? So I was at dinner the other night, and you know, people were asking me about my Beyond the Body book. I prefer that people don't talk to me about my work when I'm at dinner, but it's inevitable. Anyway, you know, and I was sharing with this man who said, I believe it's lights out. And I said, well, that's your belief, and that's fine. I believe we don't die because of what I have experienced talking to people on the other side and seeing what they show me. I should write a book just about what has been revealed to me by people on the other side, because it's always different. It's always eye-opening and sometimes mind-boggling. But I shared with him about this story there's a video on YouTube. It's a documentary. It's called The Boy Who Lived Before. It's amazing. You should watch it. And then there's the story, another story about this little boy. Presently, you know, he was 4 when he shared this. He kept talking to his mom about he died in his plane in the war. And he knew his name, first and last name. He knew where the plane crashed. He knew the type of plane that hasn't existed for a long time. And, you know, they did the research and it was all completely accurate. He didn't incarnate for a long time. You know, there is no time outside of where we are. So it's like, but then there are these other little kids who they'll be riding in the car. Now everybody has the camera on the kids in the car. And, you know, this one little boy was trying not to cry. He was all puckering up saying, you know, I miss my real mommy. Well, if I was a mother, that would completely freak me out on one level. Be like, oh no, you know. So everybody reincarnates, if they reincarnate, at a different time. But I'm pretty sure there are more souls without bodies than there are with them. And the fact that we have a body and that we're here in this physical plane, and we are being tempted and distracted. And, I remember one of my friends who's from Mexico. At one point he said, I can't believe it. I got to have the latest phone, the latest car. I'm just like caught in this loop, which he broke himself out of. But he had to see it first, right? And it's like, the carrots are being dangled in front of us 24/7 minimum. Our phones, I'm pretty sure, can even hear our thoughts now. Because sometimes I'll think about something and it'll pop up on my phone. And the only reason I think that's possible is because I downloaded a sleep app at one point. And, I woke up the next morning and it had recordings of me snoring for 20 minutes and giggling at 5:30 and all these different things. But it knew when I went to sleep and how deeply I slept. And I thought, how can it know that? This has to be sonar. That's the only way it could read my mind that way and my rhythms. Can't just be maybe just my breathing. But anyway, I looked it up and for sure it was sonar. I thought, well, so if they can do that, why can't they read our thoughts? Because I remember in the 80s thinking one time, there's going to come a time in my lifetime where I can think into a tape recorder or some kind of recording device, not a tape recorder. At that time, they were tape recorders. But, it's like, look, it's in one sense, it's an uphill battle. But we have the ability to, in our being, when we are being in the present, to be outside of all of this. And one of the things I love about this system, and I want to teach it to whoever wants to learn it, and I'm looking at the best ways to do that. And, it's like, yeah, because this is a matrix of time. And once you see it, your consciousness can go outside of time, which is where we're untouchable. We're untouchable. We're untouchable. Time is a man-made matrix. And it's a very real thing because this system has been around for a long time. And it is so friggin' accurate down to the day. Well, I won't go there, but it's extremely accurate. You can pinpoint anything. And you can see what's coming and what the opportunity is and which way to go. I mean, I always love doing readings for people that are in transition because it's really easy to see, the path. And they already usually know what that is, but they need confirmation. So today we begin anew with these two kings. If you have an idea that can make a difference, do it. Do it. I was telling my friend yesterday, she's wanting to get her paintings in galleries. And I said, do you know the story of Colonel Sanders and his Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe? He went to 999 investors. They all said no. He didn't give up. The 1,000th one said yes. And I bet those other 999 people regretted saying no. It's like the FedEx guy when he did his thesis in business school, you know, about, creating FedEx. And his teacher gave him a C minus and said, "This is impossible. This will never work." Duh. So, if you have something you want to do it. Go for it. Use any rejection or obstacles for direction and inspiration. It's really up to us how we frame things. It really is. So I love you, and I'm sending each and every one of you a big hug, and wishing you greatness of being. Okay, ciao, ciao.